Welcome to the Obesity Medicine Podcast with your host, Dr. Rentea, board certified in internal medicine and obesity medicine. Here, we talk about a path to metabolic health, and we have real conversations about chronic weight management and living a full life. Just a reminder, I am a physician, but I'm not your physician. So everything that's on this podcast is for informational purposes, but please go talk to your doctor about what's right for you. There is no medical advice being given on this podcast. Welcome back to another episode of the podcast. I am just in the best of spirits. Every so often you have really busy weeks, but then you'll get a morning where maybe you blocked half the morning and you just get that hour or two that you really need to refocus, to recenter yourself. It's sunny out. It's not too cold. It's just life hits right at that moment. So that's where I'm at the moment when I'm recording this. And I cannot believe that we're already talking about holiday season preparation. Now, the way that I timed this is coming out, I think, about mid-November. Might seem early for some, might seem late for others. The reality is I want you to swap the word holiday with vacation, with any other type of time of year when there is maybe a lot of food around, maybe when you're not quite sure what's going to be available. This could be a birthday party that you could apply this episode to. So this is not just about holiday time, but I like to always do one of these type of episodes because I think that it's important for us to remember that we always have some level of control, and I think we forget that. So today I'm going to try to make this a quick episode because I like to kind of just, we get in, we talk about a thing, and then I get out. But I wanted to start real quick. I forgot to mention, I received some really great feedback from a previous episode where I spoke about kind of not saying comments about people's weight and maybe what could be more appropriate and sort of just furthering that conversation. And I got back so much positive feedback. And I want to say thank you for anyone that ever takes the time to write back to an email or writes back to me in the DMs on social. I really appreciate that. I really value your feedback. And someone wrote a comment that I just think was really great. And maybe sometimes when things strike us in a way that maybe we want to go forward using that. So someone said, I just listened to the podcast several years ago. I heard someone say, quote, "You are looking well. How's your health?" This allowed you to pay the compliment, but also open the conversation to any answers. If you had been really focused on strict lifestyle, you can celebrate with them. If they were in a bad place, you can mourn with them. And if it's a mental health issue, it leaves it open as well. I think that is beautiful. Thank you for writing that to me. I always try to write back when people take the time to write to me. I think that's really beautiful. So just kind of a reminder, the reason I bring up this comment right now, it's because we're heading into the holiday season and it is fraught with comments that are said to us. A lot of the time they're extra triggering because they come from family members and they really know somehow how to dig the knife in and turn it. So just remember, you are potentially working on different things. You get to decide if you want to respond, how you want to respond. I really want to encourage you to go back to that October episode where I talked through that so that maybe you can take a comment or two that could be helpful. Maybe you won't make that comment to others, or how you receive it or how you respond might be different. So, all right, let's get here back to talking about sort of the holiday time and sort of just preparing for the day of, just in general, things like that. It's always the same things I bring up, by the way. If you go to last year and you look at what we talked about, I didn't look back at the episode, but I suspect I'm bringing up the exact same things, which is number one, I want you to take back small amounts of control. So even if you are out of town on that day and you don't know what's going to be served, or you're going to restaurants where you don't know, all these things, I want you to find little pockets where you can take back control. So for example, water intake or just fluids in general. Can you make sure to get up in the morning and still hydrate like you normally would? If you're someone that really feels good with protein, I'll give an example. I'm notorious for Instacarting things like a cottage cheese, hard-boiled eggs. I will Instacart that from a local Walmart or whatever food store is nearby to the hotel I'm staying at or to the home that I'm going to be at. Like, let's say I'm at an event. I just came back from one here recently where there were a lot of us in a house and, it's a great retreat and everything, but I wanted my protein drink. I wanted the prepared vanilla Fairlife, to be honest. And I just went ahead and ordered some to the house. It's not a big deal. I still got my decaf coffee in the morning. I could still enjoy it with that. It just makes me feel amazing in the morning to get in those protein drinks. So it doesn't matter what else is going on. I want you to see how can you take back some moments of control for yourself. So is it you bring some protein bars so that on the way to that Thanksgiving meal, you're like, I am dying of hunger. And while I want to enjoy myself, I I want to enjoy it, but not overeat and not feel good at the end and not really feel like I honored myself. Maybe you eating half a protein bar on the way there is the most loving version. So there's a million ways of this, but I want you to think through right now before you're in those events, what are just a few areas where I could take back a small amount of control? We're not controlling everything. And in fact, we're going to get to some other points here, but whenever you a little bit plan just a few self-care things. So the two things that I always do, no matter what, no matter where I am, I take a walk in the morning and I drink my water. I want to throw in there the protein coffee as well, but at least the water, I can drink it from a tap if I need to. We don't usually have to get to that extreme, but it's that easy. And walking, even if it's cold outside and we're in a hotel, I can literally in the hallway walk back and forth. But most hotels have a gym. You can put a coat on. I'm really big about parking lot walking. Like you hear me talk about all these things. So it's so bare bones easy. And so those are the two really like non-negotiables, easy things where I take back control. I feel like a human, helps regulate me. I feel good. The rest of the day is negotiable. Then the next thing I really want you to think through is what's worth it. So I really want you to, I got to this great place with Thanksgiving. It's a time when my whole family always comes together. And this year it's going to be a little bit different. So I'll report back to you, or this year we're actually going to be staying at a hotel where there's a lot more activities and stuff. And we just decided, we're going to do it differently this year. So I'm actually excited to do it differently. So I'll actually report back how that goes, because I think it's going to be really exciting. But one of the things I want you to decide is what is worth it. So at this place where we're going to be going, I know that there's certain places eating that, because we've been there before, they are just so bad. I would frankly rather eat in the hotel room and eat a cottage cheese and a hard-boiled egg. I don't even want to go there. And then there are other places where there's a German place that has a potato pancake worth it. That potato pancake, the way that they make it, they come they're sort of, I don't know, a few inches across. There's 3 of them that come, and I get it with some applesauce and some sour cream. Divine. So worth it. That with some eggs really makes my day. So it's like sitting there and deciding what's worth it, what's not. We've tried some other places around there. There's a local cupcake place where it's like worth it. Now, a lot of the other stuff that my kids will be eating, not worth it. It's not worth it. I don't want sort of crappy candy or this or that. And so it's really important to decide to yourself, do I really love the dessert? Like when I mean deciding what's worth it is we start to realize I can have a little of everything, but not all of it, if that makes sense. So some people are really into the pie that comes with Thanksgiving. All right, cool. Can we scale back the meal a little bit? Can we focus more on protein and getting veggies in and stuff like that, and not go as heavy on the bread roll or the mashed potatoes? Not because we're villainizing it, but just because we're like, I want to save some room for that amazing cake. I want to honor it. I want to not overstuff myself. So we can do those kind of negotiations. It's really deciding what matters to you, what is worth it. It's like deciding, hey, if there's a warm cookie, for me, it's a warm chocolate chip cookie that has some salt on it. I'm like, yes to that. I do not like the thin, hard cookies, like the hard chocolate chip cookies, like think like is it the Tate brand? Not my jam. Again, in different circumstances, maybe I am a soft cookie girl. So realizing what's worth it to you, right? And then also on the back end, when you're thinking about what's worth it to you, what is actually going to make me feel amazing at the end of the day? So for me, I learned a long time ago when we're doing these family meals, I still need to do my protein drink. I still need to do my eggs and my salad. I still need to do all that stuff. And then of course I enjoy the dinner. That's this third part here. I want you to plan for magic. Of course, you still get to be spontaneous. You still get to do those things, but you end up feeling amazing the next day and not like you've been run over by a train, right? So thinking through these holidays, I think most of my patients and coaching clients, when they think about these 3 areas what's the small area where I can plan and take control? What are the things that actually move the needle the most for me daily? Usually it's only 1 or 2 that if you do those things, you're still going to be set. And there's no reason why on a holiday day, you still can't get those things done. Seriously. Like most of us, it's not like, oh my gosh, I wake up at 5 o'clock and I'm cooking all day. If that's the truth, okay, fine. Guess what? You're pretty darn active then. You know what I mean? Then you're doing a lot already. But most people, there's some area where they're like, yeah, I could fill up my Stanley. I could be a little bit more intentional about this. And it's going to help you to not overeat as much because you're well hydrated and you're not going to get a headache and just all of it, right? But then also really thinking about what's actually worth it and planning like, yep, I do want to have this dessert, or to be honest, I'm sort of over desserts nowadays. I know that sounds weird. Of course I love dessert. I'm not saying that I don't, but to me, savory, oh my gosh, an amazing hollandaise sauce, or we make this Russian sauce that goes with hard-boiled eggs. Of course, I'm a vegetarian, so you might be like, why you bring that up? But I love, it's this mustard sauce. I mean, we call it Russian, but it's basically a milk. There's a little bit of flour in it, different mustard. And I'm not making it sound the most appealing, but think like a tartar version of a hollandaise sauce. It is just divine over these hard-boiled eggs. And I love that with some of the other food that we make something called broccoli divine, which is where we'll have broccoli that's been boiled. And then over that, there's a little bit of either a cream of wheat soup, not a cream of wheat. There'll be like a cheese type of soup, like the concentrated version of it. There'll be some cheese on that, some breadcrumbs. Like it's truly broccoli divine, right? So yes, you would normally not have veggies like that, but this is really, a treat of how we do it on Thanksgiving, right? And so these are the type of things where I realize that is what I want to prioritize. Like those are the types of things I really want. Dessert, take it or leave it, or maybe spacing it out significantly, but it's not the thing that does it for me. So again, I want to leave the episode here. I really want to also just say, whenever we head into the holiday time, for me, it's really November and December. It's really honestly a time of gratitude for me in life. And I want to take the opportunity here to really say thank you for everybody that is listening here, where you tune into the podcast weekly, you make comments, you give your feedback, you let me know what's happening for you, for everyone that is either part of my coaching communities or part of my clinic. I really value you being part of my world, honoring me to let me work with you. And I just really want to say thank you. I don't ever take it lightly. I really think about all of you very often and really how I can bring information to you that is both medically sound, but also that's compassionate and just understanding how we need to keep ourselves motivated and continue to go forward. So I really want to say thank you and reach out to me anytime. I appreciate it. I definitely take that into consideration when I create future content. And I just want to say thank you. And I hope that you have an amazing rest of the week and really holiday season here in whatever capacity it looks like for you, whether you celebrate or you don't. Even if you do not celebrate any holidays, I still find that it's a quite beautiful time of year, especially in the Midwest. We have a lot of darkness, really, right? I mean, it gets dark really early. It gets light late in the morning, things like that. And so to me, it's just a time of year when I really enjoy lights that are hung up, candles that are lit. It's just a time, I don't know, it's actually a very beautiful time of year. It can definitely be a struggle, I know, for a lot of people, but it's definitely just, I've really always honored this as a nice time of year when there can still be a lot of beautiful things despite a lot of the landscape, the trees being gone with their leaves and things like that. I like to sort of look at the positive, reflective time of year. So I hope you have a great rest of the week, a great season here, and we'll definitely talk soon. That marks the end of today's episode. But if you're newer to the podcast, I want to tell you about something that we have, and it's a free podcast roadmap. So this is perfect for any of you that are listening where you want to be directed to very specific episodes. So let's say that you are just starting out and you want to know, what should I do right when I start on the medications? Or you're experiencing certain side effects on the GLP-1s, or you want to know what to do if you're in a plateau, or if emotional eating is taking over, or if hunger levels are high. So we have many different categories of episodes that we've talked about, because there's a lot at this point. So if you want to be able to navigate that very easily, we have it broken down by category and also the episodes that are there, and we hyperlink to everything. So you can just click on it and find the episode, easy peasy. If you want that, you can go to renteaclinic.com/podcast roadmap. We'll have it linked right here underneath the show notes where you're listening. And you can go ahead and get that free resource so that it makes it easy for you to navigate, because I know that it's really hard when someone has an established podcast. I am such a podcast fiend. I'm listening to podcasts all day long. And when I find one that I love, but there's a lot that are out there, I am so lost. So I hope that you enjoy this free podcast roadmap. Again, the link to get to that is going to be renteaclinic.com/podcast roadmap. I hope this is helpful, and let me know if you have any questions.